Once again, hello everyone. I'll be demonstrating here for our third app, one that we called meseleves, or in English it would be my students. And I designed this app because I was inspired one day by teachers using a tin can, like a can of soup, and they put popsicle sticks in it with the names of students. And I thought, why don't we try to reproduce this so they could do it with an iPad or an iPod, and they can connect in real time to our student database system. The reason being is that I wanted to show again that if you have access to your data in real time, we can do all sorts of things with it. And eventually what we'd like to be able to do sometime this year is give them access to information that we are preparing to gather. For example, the style of learners that students are. So in this case here, what we did is we replicated the canon with the help of our programmer here, and one of my sons again. I will use a fictitious account, so it doesn't really matter if you see the password. You can use it if you like, but you don't have the app. And what it does is it connects to the Trillium database, and it gives you access based on your rights in Trillium. So in this case here, this particular fictitious teacher would have these three classes. In the class, you will find the student names. And if I click on begin, or in French, commencer, you'll see the names go into the can. Now, again, the idea is to show them, what can be done with the data. So if I click on the can and they're about to ask questions to the students, that's what they would normally do. They pull out a popsicle stick and then, ask the student the question. So in here, we click and then we get a name. Now that led to all sorts of other suggestions by teachers. It's something that I like is that once we design something like this and we get feedback from the teachers that participate in all our projects, and some of them said, well, listen, I'm not a homeroom teacher, so I don't have access to a class of students. I may be the resource teacher. So what we did is we added a personalized list. And then from there, some said, well, if you can put in student names, could you put in other information? And one of the things they do, especially in elementary schools, is that they have what's called le mur de mots, or the wall of words. So we create a list, and in the list we can put in words, names, so on and so forth. And then these names or words go into the can, and then you can hand over the iPod or the iPad to a student, and the student could, click on them and read it, sapin. And then the next word, carte. So it's entertaining for the students. But then I thought of, well, what happens if the teacher can't be beside them to hear them? So if we go back a step, the student would go again into the list, start the list. But in this case here, could click on the microphone down in the right corner, put in their name, so I'll put in ADE, click on the can, carte, Daniel. Notice the can's now making noise because we're recording everything, sapin. And then once it's done, could hand the iPad or iPod back to the teacher, and she will go into recordings or in enregistrement, choose the list, and you'll see at the bottom, so the word appears at the same time so that you can follow what the student has done. So this is a neat little app. It's starting to be very popular because, again, they can adapt it right away to what they're doing. And we're not there to compete with everyone that's out there in the App Store, but there are a lot. We are French Canadian, and there's not that many apps out there for what we like to do. But again, the main idea here was to show what can be done when you give access to real-time data. And in the future, like I said, if we could have lists that come out, not necessarily out of a can, but a list of names, and teachers could see once we've collected the type of learners that they have in their class, and let's say identify them by a color, they could base their questions or they could formulate their questions in a way that would enhance the students' learning style. So these are all different things that we like to do, and we're getting a lot of success. And again, it's always adding to the all the tools that we are providing to our teachers and students. So I hope you enjoyed this one, because I know that we had a lot of fun developing it, and it's really appreciated out there. Thank you.